Well, how y'all are this afternoon? This your old buddy George Jones over here at the Bergen Gun Range with my next installment on 8. I got a new gun. Yeah, that's right. I actually broke down and bought a gun for myself. Instead of one coming from a museum or a private collector or borrowing one from the guy down the street to do a review on, I actually broke down and bought a gun. Oh, blue stuff. That's the best drink in the world right there. Moonshine and Windex. Great stuff. Moonshine and Windex. No, children, I don't drink on camera. As a matter of fact, I don't drink at all. Not even beer. 8, I got myself a new gun. And the new gun I got is this one. This is the Maverick 88 Security in 12 gauge. Now, that's not really the subject of this video. The subject of this video is advanced technologies folding stock for Mossberg. Now, this ATI stock came on this gun when I bought it. I started out to buy a Security Maverick and hunted everywhere for one because they cost about, oh, wait a minute, I'm not supposed to talk about the cost of a firearm on YouTube, you know, so I'm not going to say the amount. So, and my intention was to buy one of these and then put this unit on it, which they typically cost, you know, and I got to a big box store in Lexington, Kentucky, which is advertised openly by another YouTuber from down in Tennessee, and I found it there. They got an algorithm, buddy. You gotta be careful what you say. That's all there is to it. But I'm in the business of trying to get a point across, so I'm gonna try it. So the price of this thing is like a little less than, but when I found this at the big box store and range in Lexington, the price for the entire unit was like it was like which was considerably cheaper than buying this gun and this stock and putting them together. Okay? So I thought that was a good deal, so I went ahead and bought it, even though I don't particularly like doing business with that company. Not because the company's bad, but because I prefer to do my business with locally owned and mom and pop businesses altogether. You know, whatever it is, gas station, tobacco store, you know, gun shop, whatever. I prefer to use the locally owned mom and pop business. That's my preference. Having said all of that, here it is. Now, the first time I ever saw one of these guys, and by the way, these things are made in Versailles, Kentucky. ATI stuff is made in Versailles, Kentucky. I'm pretty sure that their plastic parts are produced also in Kentucky by Plastics Unlimited up in Florence. Okay? And then they put them together at their shop. Anyway, having said all of that, the reason for it was I didn't think, the first time I ever saw one of these things, my cousin Ed put one of them on his shotgun, his Mossberg 7-shot. And I thought there's no way that thing will stand up to Magnum buckshot, deer slug type recoil energy, which is like 65, 70 pounds of energy going into your shoulder. So I set out to buy this thing and set it up so that I could basically bring it out here and test it out. So that's where we're at, to see just exactly what it's like. Now, I haven't shot his, and I've never shot one of these things before. You know, I think I shot a mini shell through it the other day just to see if the gun worked. But I haven't really sit down and done the test yet, so we're going to do that. Now, this is a pretty cool gizmo. It has a stock on it that folds out. It's kind of modeled on the old Remington Riot folder. It's got a button back here, and you push that button, and then it simply flips over the top, and the buttstock folds down, and there it is. It's kind of, I think it ought to go down farther than that, but it don't. But there it is. That makes it a little bit handier, you know. You can use this guy as a pistol grip pump shotgun, you know, and then you can come up here and push the button and fold it out, and then you got a full-length stock. Makes it kind of handy, especially in a boat or a vehicle, a tractor, airplane, something like that. You know, and I say that airplane all the time. You know, and in Kentucky, we don't carry many firearms on an airplane, okay? But if you go to the state of Alaska, you've got some airplane gun rules, and that is non-commercial or bush aircraft have to have some kind of firearm on it, along with 40 pounds of Sailor Boy pilot bread and 10 pounds of canned meat, and, you know, and 2 life preservers and a flare pistol and 50 rounds of ammunition and some kind of an axe, you know, for your survival gear when you get down in the bush, which, you know, is likely. You know, you land in a bush plane in the bushes. You know, you're trying to take off from the bushes. You're trying to take off from the river bank and the creek bank and the frozen ground and every place else. You know, and in Alaska, they require you to have some kind of a gun. Typically, it's a .22 rifle, but sometimes it's a shotgun. You know, it's hard to stop a bear with a .22 rifle. You need a shotgun. Okay, having said all of that, the test is how well does it hold up to buckshot, and what does it feel like when you shoot buckshot with it? And that's where we're going to be. So I recently did a comparison test to a known buckshot of a new brand, the Italian Boschieri and Pellegrini, you know. Just remember, it's got a real nice box with a wolf on it. Okay, we're going to see what it's like to shoot full blast, high blast buckshot out of this gun with this stock on it. And it typically kicks a little harder when you shoot it from the bench. So we're going to give it a try here and see what it's like. It is in fact a Maverick, so the action is a little rough, but we're going to try about 3 right here and see how it goes. And then I brought my op saw, so we're going to see if we can shoot mini shells out of it too. All right, here we go. Hang on to it. I'm not going to put my face down here on that rail. I'm just going to pull that up in my shoulder good and see how it shoots. There we go. We off safe? No. Let's put it off safe. Get it up in your stock well and let it go. The stuff didn't kick too bad when I was shooting it out of an 870. Of course, an 870 weighs about 5 more pounds than this gun does. But the stock held up. In for a penny, in for a pound. We'll try it again. Oh, man, that's a punishing blow in this lightweight gun. Ain't broke nothing. It's all in there. Okay. All right, that's enough of that. That's enough. Enough of that. All right, let's try something else. Let's have some medium brass dub loads. Let's try 2 or 3 or 4 of them. See how it is. Now granted, I shot this buckshot earlier and it kicked pretty hard in that 870. It's 1,400 feet per second. You know, 9 pellet, which is almost an ounce and a half of shot. That's a pretty hot, pretty heavy load. Let's try this. Nitro 27 handicap, 1 1/8 ounce, 7.5. Okay. Let's get us one in there and load us a couple of 3 in here and see how they feel. See if there's any noticeable difference in the recoil. Because what we're doing here is we're testing this stock. We're seeing if the stock's going to hold up to the use. It is manageable. The stock seam maybe flexes and absorbs a little bit of recoil, but not a lot. Not a lot. Got one in there? Yeah. All right, here we go. That's not bad. Matter of fact, that's kind of manageable. Kicks me harder in the hand than it does in the shoulder. Creep down on that thing a little bit. All right. It's a little bit more manageable with a trap or hunting load. Let's see if our stock's coming apart. No, everything seems to work like it's supposed to. Pistol grip ain't come loose yet. All right, let's try something different. Seeing as how we're here, for those of you that are not familiar with it, there's such a thing as a mini shell. Now, I've touted the use of the mini shell on this channel a lot. And the mini shell will not feed through a pump shotgun. Okay? It just won't. Because it is, in fact, mini. Comes out of the magazine, flips over backwards on the carrier. Okay? So, we have got a little gizmo that some fellers down in Texas come up with called the Obsol mini clip. That's this guy. And designed in Texas, tested in Texas, made in the USA, Texas. Veteran owned. Obsol mini clip the Obsol mini clip with the period and the 3 little letters there at the end of it. Okay? Now how this works is it mounts in your shotgun the way it don't look like it's supposed to go. So on the front of your trigger group, there's a little shelf right there, okay? And this little gizmo has a little piece that mates with that shelf, okay? So it goes in there just like that, and it goes in there, it's kind of tight, but make sure you got it in there and you got it scooted all the way back, and you got it up here flush with the bottom of your receiver, okay? And this is only on a Mossberg. You don't have these for Remingtons. Now you can take the mini shell and stick one in there. You can take a mini shell and put them in there, and when you pump one up in it, it goes in the battery, because this guy took up the space and didn't allow that hull to flip over backwards. Okay? Now, you've got a 5-shotter. Okay? You've got a 5-shot security Maverick shotgun. And it's got one in it, the magazine. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. You've got 8 in the magazine. Yeah. What's the advantage to it? Well, this is 7.5 Aguila mini shell. Okay, 7.5 shot. It doesn't say what the shot weight is on it, I don't think. What is it? It is 5/8 of an ounce. Okay, so it's a little over half an ounce. Okay, half an ounce of 7, a little over half an ounce of 7.5. Oh, pretty good for shooting rats and stuff around the place where you want to reduce power shell. But they make this in 6 pellet double aught buckshot and 16 pellet number 4 buckshot. And I'm telling you, you can, and greatly reduced recoil. Man, ooh, I got, as I have said before, you can take them to Pump City with mini shells. Yes, sir. So what have we learned? Well, we've learned that this guy, if you want a folding stock on a shotgun that you're not going to use every day, or you want to be able to store a security type shotgun in a tighter space, this guy by itself is worth the money. Okay. We've also learned that you can get this already on a shotgun, already on the Maverick 88 Security at a greatly reduced price overall for the entire unit. We've also learned that it won't disintegrate when you shoot high-priced buckshot or slugs out of it, just right out of hand. Okay. We've also learned, for those of you that haven't seen my older videos on mini shells and Mossbergs, that you can get the Opsol mini clip, which allows you to shoot these. Now, there's a real advantage to these on several different levels. And there's several different manufacturers. There's Aguila, okay. Federal makes them. There is a company, Challenger, which is based in France, that manufactures a brand of mini shell. And I'm thinking there's another one on the market, but I can't think who it is, and I wouldn't be a bit surprised if the major shotgun shell manufacturers don't all have a mini shell in their line sooner or later. There's a couple of advantages to this. One is the increased magazine capacity in a Mossberg. Okay, the 7-shot one holds like 14 of them. You know, you can really clear a place up with 6 pellet double aught buck at close range. There's also an advantage to it that it makes a 12 gauge shotgun kick like a 410. So if you've got a youngster around the place and all you've got is a single shot 12 gauge shotgun, you know, to take him hunting with, he's not going to get turned off by kicking and getting his brains kicked out, and he's still going to have a shot load that's as good or slightly better than a 410 shotgun, you know, out of a 12. So there's some advantage there too, youth hunting and youth gun training. Well, all right, we've talked about this thing for about 20 minutes. I'm sure you're probably tired of listening to me drone on. You've eaten a half bucket of popcorn watching me. I'm going to sign off with like, take, surefire, commentate, and subscribe. Leave me an old $1 in the Patreon bucket if you want to, and if you don't, I'll keep right on making content for you. God bless America. We need him bad right now. Join the NRA. We need them real bad too. Nobody else has the same lobby or the same legal power. I don't care how many shiny suits Wayne LaPierre's got and how many trips on private jet he takes. You know, it comes right down to it. He ain't the NRA. The NRA is that pack of lobbyists out there that are working on your behalf. And it's that pack of lawyers out there that's taking these idiots to court. And that's the way it's going to work. God bless them, everyone. Be kind to everyone you meet, but have a plan. We'll see y'all.